What's going on, guys? Rob A again, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Masterpiece MP-27 Ironhide, the Cybertron Security. As you can see, he is a lovely Nissan Cherry Vignette, and of course, Ironhide here. Now, I ordered mine from Hobby Link Japan, and got a little bit weird, like, I don't know, just a little bit of weirdness going on here on the actual picture. I don't know if it is something that happened at HLJ or if this is something that, you know, was straight from the factory. So, obviously, yours should not have little white pock marks on the image. And to be honest with you, it really doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I keep the boxes, but I keep them in storage. It's not really that big a deal. So, whatever, I'm not going to make too big a deal out of it. Anyway, Ironhide. This is a decent sized box. It's definitely bigger than the normal Carbots boxes. It's decently sized. I don't have any of the other Carbots boxes with me to kind of compare, unfortunately, but take my word for it, it is a little bit bigger. It might be closer in size to the box for Trax, because he did have the, you know, the flight stand and everything in there. This is fairly substantially sized. I'm sure you can kind of see that in my hand. On the back, on the back, we get all kinds of different info and things. It's all in Japanese, so don't expect me to read it to you, but you can see it does fit in Prime's trailer, and of course it's got a shot of, you know, Ironhide with Prime and Bumblebee. Over here it shows you some of the different accessories. We've got various spraying devices from his hands here. I believe that's like a fire extinguisher hand, if I'm remembering correctly, and like some kind of gun thingy. He does have his sled of doom. I don't believe it actually has treads on the bottom, which is unfortunate, but, you know, not a terrible deal. But it does hold all of his different accessories. He's got two different faces you can choose from. He's got his weird little sprayer hands, and of course two different kinds of blasters, which is pretty neat. It shows the blasters in the vehicle mode, as well as little radar dishes and things like that. This guy is packed with accessories out the wazoo, is basically what I'm getting at here. And you can kind of see all the different accessories here underneath. So yeah, I am really excited to actually have this guy in hand. I'll show you the size of the box and things like that while I'm talking. It's shiny and yelly. Yeah, I've been very curious to actually see how this guy came out, you know, in hand for quite some time, because, you know, we've seen pictures. Well, I've seen pictures. You may not have seen pictures, but there have been pictures around, and they don't necessarily do this guy any favors. There've been really weird photography going on here. So I've talked quite long enough. I'm going to see how he holds up in hand right now. I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so here he is, Ironhide in vehicle mode, and as you can see, he's actually quite nice looking, but we're just going to put him aside for right now and just take a really quick look at some of his accessories. So first up, you do get a baggie here with the instructions that hopefully you've figured out by now. Well, not his instructions specifically, but, you know, the fact that he does come with instructions. It's kind of a thing they do. You also get a nice little collector card here. Masterpiece MP-27 Ironhide. It's not the same as the other Masterpiece. It's got like a hand-painted kind of Ironhide image on the front there. And on the back, it looks very similar to what we're used to. So it's just got his stats and all that other fun stuff. You get a little thing in Japanese to, I don't know, fan club, something or other, earn points, I don't know. And you do get this little doohickey mabob. Actually, I'm holding it upside down. I apologize. And this goes like so, I do believe. This is just a little scanner screen. It's just paper, but it's nicely printed. Get a little Triceratops on there. I think this is like he scans the Dinobots or some such. I don't honestly remember from the show what this is all about, but you can stick this in his robot mode inside the windshield, and it'll show up on his chest so he can scan things. But that's really it for paper goods, and maybe I'll show off that little scanner screen a little bit later. Let's take a look at the Sled of Doom here, and it's nice. I mean, it's just a It's basically a little carrying platform for all of his stuff. So you can see all of his various hand attachments fit on here. His rocket pack, the gun for the top of the vehicle mode, and the gun for his back, the missile launcher, whatever have you. And on the bottom, you can see it actually also holds his alternate face, so you can get a nice clean look at that as well. Very nicely done. The inside of the mouth is actually painted a deep gray, and I think they did a fantastic job on capturing his visage, if you will. There are also four more spots here for other weapons, and as well as these little spots here, and various plugs and ports all over the place in here. So you could potentially even add other Masterpiece weapons to this platform to kind of keep it all together. Obviously, there are no treads on the bottom here, so unfortunately, that's not something you get. But all in all, I mean, it's a nice addition. It's, you know, they didn't have to include this, and I'm glad they did. Onto the vehicle mode itself, and as I showed you before, it's really, really nice. I was very surprised to find that most of this is in fact painted. You can see it's a very nice glossy red, nice chrome usage here. The chrome on the front lights is actually, there's chrome where the lights are, and that's actually painted silver around it, or it's actually like a matte gray almost, and then you've got the little turn signal there as well. All the handles and things are painted in. It's got the nice, it's a little bit off here, but you can see the nice detailing on the side of the vehicle here. Going around to the back, nice back lights, exhaust, and the back bumper as well. So really, really nicely done. You got these are not actually chrome, the hubcaps. They are just metallic silver. I think it works quite well. And the top here, I don't know if this is supposed to be a sunroof or what, but it's gunmetal gray. And on the front here, you can actually see through the windshield, you can see a little design reminiscent of his G1 toy face kind of thing, where he was just like a... The G1 toy was not an attractive thing. Sorry, everybody. I'm just going right out to say it. This is not attractive. And it had a face like this because it didn't have like a head. It just had a windshield with like this little face behind it. It was kind of creepy. But yeah, really, really nice vehicle mode. And actually underneath, you can see he does have storage for his 2 handguns, which is actually really, really nice. And it's a very nice, clean underside here. Nothing bad going on there. That's really, really nice. And so he does have room for these 2. You just stick them in there. And hopefully I can get those out when it comes time to transform this guy. I'm assuming. Maybe. Yeah, we'll fight with that later. But right now, I'll just show off his vehicle mode. Of course, rolls just fine. And we'll put him back here to get a size comparison. Here he is with Blue Streak. And actually, let me grab G2 Bumblebee as well, so you can get a nice kind of size comparison here. And he's a good size. I mean, he's a nice, solid, hefty vehicle. But the crazy part is when you actually transform this guy, he expands like you would not believe. So here he is with... I keep wanting to call him Goldbug, which I guess is not wrong. But G2 Bumblebee. So you get a side-by-side. I'm not going to show him off with Prime's vehicle mode, because, well, Prime is really, really frustrating to transform sometimes, especially when you haven't done it in a long time. So I hope you will forgive me, but you get an idea of the size of this guy. So, very, very nice. So what we're going to do now is actually transform this guy into robot mode. Actually, let me show this off really quickly first. He does have the little pop top in the roof, so you can take this laser cannon thing. I forget exactly what it's called. And you can, of course, plug that in to the roof of the vehicle. It doesn't turn. It does wiggle. but you can have that. So it's pretty cool. You got that going on. And yeah, let's take this guy into robot mode. Okay guys, because I love you, I went and grabbed something a lot easier to transform that would kind of give the same idea. So here is Masterpiece Prime vehicle mode with Ironhide. Obviously this is Ultra Magnus, but it's the exact same size, so you guys get the idea of a size difference, and you get a little contrast here. It's not completely red, just all up in your face. There's obviously red here, but so you guys get the idea. This is the size you're working with as far as vehicle mode. So there you go. Magnus, you've done well. Chill out over there, thanks. So transforming this guy is really kind of nice, actually. I was rather surprised. Excuse me. Rather surprised. It is a complex, involved transformation, but not overly complicated, not really difficult, not tedious or miserable, which is nice to say, honestly. So, transform this guy. First thing you want to do is just go ahead and yoink. Well, his face fell off. That hopefully will not be a constant problem. So yeah, we'll just put that off to the side for now. There's his face here. You want to see a quick close-up of his face? There you go. Ironhide's face. Prime, my face fell off again. I'm getting too old for this. Alright, so you lift this back part. His head is right up in here. That's why that happened. So you just plug that right back in. Okay, so you get that going. Alright, just like so. You want to grab these side panels like so here. Just lift this up, lift that up, and these are going to become his arms eventually. So what you want to do now is bring these out further, and these are actually going to plug in right here. There's a tab. There's actually two slots. You want to go on the one that's further to the outside, and it'll seem like it doesn't want to go in there at first, but it'll snap in and then hold nice and solid there. Don't you worry. And do the same thing on the other side. There you go. Just like that. And now that part is pretty much done. Now we can bring these up even further, like so. We're going to bring this whole section down, just like that. And then this section here is going to accordion out. And this can be a little tricky to kind of do, but you get the hang of it, and then it'll become kind of a breeze. So basically you just want to come over the edge just like that, and once you've got that done, you're going to bring this down and in, but you want to make sure that these blue pieces are on the inside here. And that could be a little tricky at first, but we'll bring this up, kind of hold those, and then bring this down and underneath, according it back. There you go. It helps to actually just put your finger underneath and then press it down in. And then that just kind of goes in and slides all together, just like so. So you can kind of see what's going on here. Now you can see Ironhide's face in full, and he actually has a little release back here. It's obviously it's not obvious, which is nice, but you can actually push on the back of his little mohawk piece here, his head crest, and it'll push his face right off. So you don't have to worry about trying to pry your fingers in there or get a tool that's going to scratch out paint or anything like that. But unfortunately, it does mean when you're transforming him, sometimes you can accidentally, knock that off. So that done, which he's already starting to look Ironhide-y, except now he's got a face crotch, and he can start zooming around like this. We can transform his arms, and that should be fine and fun. So you can see he's got the arms like so. You just want to lift this open, swing his hand out, just like so. You're going to accordion his arm out thusly. Okay? It's going to be at an angle. It's not going to go straight, but that's normal. That's fine. And you'll You'll get to it later. Then you're going to close this flap up like so, and then close the arm over and just tab it together. And there you have one arm. Ready to go. And now you can see the arm is straight because that wonky elbow joint is actually inside, so you don't actually see it. And his arm bends just fine now. Okay, so you got that going. Just do the same thing on the other side. Open it up. Flip out the fist. Accordion the arm out. Close the flap and then close the hand wrist part down over it. And there you go. Now you have his arms. And now you can really have some fun because now he can do this and go whee! Alright, so now that that's all set, you can actually go ahead and do this part now. He's got these little clips up beside his head, I should say. They will come down here and just clip to hold the arms in place, so those are not going to go anywhere. They're not going to flop around, which is very nice. And now we can focus on the legs. So for the legs, we want to go ahead and bring these wheels out like so. Just pop these out. Pop those out just like that. Now we can get these blasters out of here, no problem. And then you want to take these wheels and actually bring them in like so and fold them inside like that. There you go. Very nice. Now you want to grab this panel on the side here, and we're just going to flip it right around, and it should just sit in place. No problems, no worries. Yeah, there we go. Do the same thing on the other side. Just clip right down in place. And now we want to take this side panel and actually bring it down, and just be careful because there's a little notch here that this is going to go over, and just hold that into place. And you know, it can get a little stuck when you're doing this for the first time, or at least it did for me. But now it's no problem whatsoever. So you got that going. Now you just want to separate his legs, which is a very stiff tab right here holding those together. You just want to extend them just a smidge, just like that. Turn them around. Flip his feet out, like so. It's all nice. Everything tabs together. Everything snaps into place. It's very nice. And then bring these out as his heels, like so. Now he's got a little trouble standing, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's got a little trouble standing in this way. So what you want to do is we're gonna come onto the sides here. He's got these side panels that we all know and love. All right. We're gonna pull these out to the side, like so. They're just gonna slot out like that. You're gonna rotate them around. Rotate them around, and now you can bring his legs forward, and he's got a very nice hip panel going on here. And we're just going to go ahead, bring these back in, and you can see there's two slots here, there's two tabs here, and we're going to plug his butt cheeks into his butt. I guess it's the only term really to do that. So yeah, now he's just about done. We just have this front panel here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring this bit down like so. That's going to bring this little area out into the open. I'm going to pull this out, bring it up, and then you can see these slots he's got going down here and these little tabs. And you're just going to tab those into place until everything kind of fits flush like so. And then there we have Masterpiece Ironhide. So here is Ironhide, of course, and he is actually a lot nicer in person than we had any indication from all the pictures and things that we've seen of this guy. If you've seen the pictures, of course. If you haven't, disregard and go about your day. But honestly, like, I really do like this guy. He's a really nice Masterpiece representation of Ironhide. I know he does have the hip panels, but to be perfectly honest with you, when when you're looking at him straight on, honestly, you don't even notice these. They're so small compared to the rest of his body, and this guy is a big honking dude. Let me tell you, that van opens out into a lot of robot. But I will say this, his legs are weird. This whole area right here is very strange. His feet are a little bit odd because they do tilt, but they don't rock back or... Oh, they do rock back and forth. I just found that out. Okay, I'm an idiot. Pay no attention. But they don't rock back and forth a lot. All right, so it can look very unnatural when you're posing him in some ways, which I think is kind of the problem we've run into in a lot of those pictures we've seen. But honestly, aside from just this area right here, he really does look nice. His head is actually, and this is a bit unique for Masterpiece Transformers, his head is actually on a ball joint, so you can get a really nice range of motion and emotion out of that head. So he's got the quizzical, he's got the angry, the kind of, cock to the side, what are you talking about, Prime, kind of thing going on here. And I think they did a really nice job of capturing Ironhide. Now, turning him around, obviously, yes, he does have a tire butt. And he is a little bit, thin right behind it. But again, unless you're like looking for something to complain about, there's really, you don't notice it, because your chances are you're not displaying Ironhide with his arms up to the side, right? You're gonna at least have his arms in some kind of pose where that is not going to be noticed. And if you display your robots honestly, facing away from you, dude, find another hobby, man, for real. Go outside, read a book. All right, but yeah, really, really nicely done. So let me show you guys the articulation. Obviously, we went over the ball-jointed head. He does have ratcheting shoulders. They ratchet out to the side. They can go all the way up like that, all the way down. He does have a bicep swivel. It is very stiff on mine. I'm sure that'll loosen up a little bit over time. He does have an elbow joint, which can get, straight up 90 degrees and a little bit more than straight down. Obviously, the wrists do rotate. He's got the opening hands. He does have a waist swivel. He does have non-ratcheted hips. They're just universal joint on the hips, but you can actually lift these panels to get some more range out of his legs. And to be quite honest, if you were an enterprising young person or old person or enterprising person in general, you could theoretically pop these panels off, and then you just be left with like this one straight and this one like kind of diamond shape, and it might actually be an improvement. Like, it would look like that, basically. Imagine these two are gone. I think that might actually look better. So I may even look into that if I'm not afraid to death of damaging my Masterpiece Transformer. But that said, you do get that lift up, so you can get a nice, full range of motion out of that. His side-to-side movement is slightly limited due to the hip plates here, which can't really go anywhere. I know we were told at one point that they could be moved out of the way, but they cannot. They're just there. He has a upper thigh swivel as well as a knee swivel, and of course the ratcheted knee bend and the aforementioned foot rock and tilt that I didn't notice until just now. Honestly, guys, I looked for that when I was, just doing the initial, like, just messing with him, and it didn't. Maybe it was still a little bit stiff just because I had taken it right out of the box. So do forgive me. But of course, he's got all the requisite things. He's got accessories out the nose here. He's got 2 of these guns, which are pretty cool. There you go. He does have 2 of these, which you can, of course, put in his hands in the usual way, just like so, and he holds those nice and tight. No problems there. He also has a pile of accessories. So let's go over these one at a time here. I'm not going to dwell on them too long, but he does have this rocket launcher that can attach right into this little peg hole in his back. You can just have that over his shoulder. The rocket does come out of this thing, supposedly. I mean, I put it in, so it should come out, but it's all chrome, and I don't want to mess with it. To be honest with you, it's supposed to come out, but just be careful, please. I'm actually gonna have to move this back a little bit. He does have all these other accessories, and I'm not 100% sure offhand what all of them are. It does say in his instructions here. So we got liquid shooter nozzles, liquid shooter barrels, liquid shooter fingers. This guy just loves shooting liquid, which is kind of weird. Static laser gun, faceplate crying is his opposite, is his other face. So let's go put his faceplate crying on real quick, because I did show you that briefly. Let's expand upon it a little bit here. So again, you just press this little thing on the back, and it pops right off, and you can pop his other face right on. So now he's all upset about something some Decepticreep did. And of course, to change out his hands, you just go ahead and fold that in and just close that back up. And now you're ready for attachments. So we'll go with his liquid shooters, hands, whatever. So you got that one first. He goes, "Bah, take some spaghetti sauce." I filled my arms with chocolate milk. So you got that one going on. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. You've got the liquid shooter nozzle thing. Okay. So that. You got this little guy here. You know, for that kind of liquid shooting. I don't know why you need so many different attachments just to shoot liquid. He also does have the little wrist-mounted radar dish, which I can show you guys. You just stick it right on his arm there, and then we can go and see about this thing here. So again, we have this little plate, and to put that in, you just open up his chest here, like so. You're just gonna hopefully open it up a little more than that. There we go. Just want to slide that down in there as best you can, and then close his chest back up, and he's got the image in his chest now. So cool beans. Alright, another option he has, his last accessory, is this rocket pack, and you can detach that from the thing, hopefully. So he does have this rocket pack, let's see, and it does come with these flame effect parts, like so, and like so, and you just attach those in, and then attach that to his back, and now he can fly. I have to go. My planet needs me. So yeah, really, really cool. And if you want to leave this attached, if you're that guy that likes to pose your figures, you know, facing away from you, you can leave that on, and you don't see his little butt tires. But I mean, you know, it's fun to spin his butt. So anyway, let me get his other hand out here. All right. Because it is time for some size comparisons. Whee! Alright, so we got Ironhide here. We'll just pop him in the back like so. Take this off, we don't need this. So we got Ironhide. And here we have, so you saw how he posed with the Carbots. And now you can see here he is next to the transformed Carbots. Like, he is way bigger than those guys. Here he is with MP-10. So looking pretty great next to MP-10. And just for the heck of it, let me grab Bumblebee. Show him off with Bumblebee. So there you go. MP-27 Ironhide. Actually a lot better than I was anticipating. I was a little bit concerned, honestly, when I saw pictures and everything of this guy, and you know, he first arrived at my doorstep. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and go easy on him, but you know, I gotta be honest. And it turns out I actually really like him. He's a whole lot of fun. He's fun to pose. He actually looks really good in a lot of poses. So I don't know what they were doing when they were photographing this guy. But I like him quite a lot, and I'm very happy to have added him to my collection. So I'm looking forward to Hot Rod 2.0, and I'm on the fence about Shockwave, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, yeah, Masterpiece Ironhide, actually really cool. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching, as always. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course subscribe if you want to see more. Got more Transformers coming up, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.